What is up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Work, Run Pure Bets, and I'm back. A little delay tonight. I was hanging out with the guys from the Run Pure Sports side. We were chopping it up. We had a little 9 people on a stream talking about the PGA golf tournament for tomorrow. So I got a little held up, but it was a lot of fun. But I'm back here. We're here for baseball. I'm going to go through every game for tomorrow, and tomorrow is Thursday, I think it is the 13th. Yep, May 13th. I'm going to go through leans and best bets for every game for tomorrow. I did lose my free play today. 1-0 Reds going into the bottom of the 5th. And Sonny Gray couldn't hold on to it, and they gave up the run to make it 1-1 tie at the end of 5. So we lost our first 5 minus a half there, unfortunately. That makes my record on official YouTube plays 19-8-1 overall. So I am on a 3-game losing streak. Still very positive overall. So, it is slow and steady wins the race in baseball. So we're going to keep it going. And we'll be back. We're back here today. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's just hit it on the head. The grind continues. Please continue. Everyone, make sure to use bankroll management. Very important, especially in baseball, a game that's played every single day. So, you lose 3 in a row. It is what happens. We win 5 in a row, So these streaks happen in all sports, but definitely in baseball with a game that's to be played every single day. So I personally bet 1 unit on every single play, no matter what. There's no, I don't go crazy on it. And there's no, 10-unit bets. I don't do any of that. 1 bet, 1 unit on every single play. And it's been working out long-term, and it will work out long-term. You just got to beat the book. So let's get on to the card. Tomorrow is Thursday, March 13th. First game we got is Blue Jays, Atlanta Braves. Braves minus 140 here. Under over set at 9. This is the last game of a 3-game set between these two teams. Ross Stripling for the Blue Jays. This will be his 5th start this year. He's made it through 5 innings, only 1 time this year, but he's given up 12 earned runs in 16 1/3 total innings. He's averaging about a strikeout per inning, and he is clearly struggling this far, but his advanced numbers the last couple of years have been pretty damn good. So I do expect him to pitch, as he gets stretched out a little bit. I do expect him to pitch better. He's also taking the transition from the National League to the American League, so that's a little different as well. Charlie Morton going for the Braves. Some people call him Charles Morton. He is now 37 years old. I think he's definitely past his prime. That's for sure. He's not been good this year. That's at all. He got shelled last time out. Granted, the Phillies the Braves did make a couple errors in that game versus the Phillies, but so the runs weren't earned, but he's given up at least 4 earned runs in 4 of his last 5 starts, and he faced the Blue Jays team with over a 300 batting average versus him. His fastball velocity is down this year, so he has been very dependent on his curveball, and, if he leaves it a hanger, it can go into orbit quickly, especially with these Blue Jays bats who hit a lot of homers and have a lot of launch angles. So the Blue Jays have really, lowered their strikeouts this year as well. They're in the bottom 10, I want to say, in strikeouts in MLB. So that should definitely enable some added success here. And the Blue Jays pen is the better of the 2 pens of the 2. So I really do want to back the Blue Jays here on the money line at a nice dog price. And, I'm probably going to make that an official play. Blue Jays plus 130 on the money line. This will be a full game play. I know I normally do first 5, but when there's a bullpen edge as well, I'm going to take my bullpen edge too. So I'm going to take the Blue Jays bullpen as well, and we'll go full game Blue Jays plus 130. That'll be official play of mine. Shout out to chat hanging out. Ricky Chan, Bobby M, Amy Angus, Eric Taylor, Chris Brown, my guy, Gregory Russo. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Really do. All right, so next game, Philadelphia Phillies, Washington Nationals. Line set at minus 110 for both teams, under over 8.5. Zach Eflin for the Phillies. He's been pretty good this year. 45 1/3 innings. He has a 3.38 ERA. He does have, better numbers at home in his career, and this game is on the road. So this will also be his first matchup versus this Nationals team this year. Overall, they do have pretty good numbers versus him. 130 plate appearances, a weighted on base percentage of 356. Soto's batting 518 at-bats versus him, and Trey Turner is batting 333 in 18 at-bats. Patrick Corbin going for the Nationals. He's been quite inconsistent this year. He realistically only had 2 good starts this year out of his 6 total. He enters this game with an ERA over 7 in almost 30 innings. Segura, Harper, and Bryce Hoskins all bat over 280 versus Corbin. As we know, both these teams, their bullpens not very good. So I definitely expect runs here. My lean is the full game over 8.5, but I have not pulled the trigger yet on that game. Kansas City, next game, Kansas City Royals, Detroit Tigers, -110 on both sides here. Again, over under set at 9. Tigers going for a 3-game sweep here versus the Royals. Daniel Lynch for the Royals. He did definitely had good stuff in the minors, but he's a guy who's not pitched higher than single A before coming over to the majors. And he struggled mightily in the majors. His last start versus the White Sox team, he only got 2 outs, gave up 8 earned runs. So he has struggled in his 2 starts thus far. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Tigers are not the best bats in baseball, but they have awoken in this series, and they have, shown aspects where they can score some runs. So for the Tigers, Spencer Turnbull, he's a guy, who has better surface numbers in his career, but based on his advanced stuff, but I kind of like him somewhat. The eye test, I'm kind of like his stuff from the eye test. He obviously gets hit and has struggled sometimes, but I think he's better than what the numbers say. He did pitch back against this Royals team on April 26th, pitched 6 innings, 3 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts. In 117 plate appearances versus this team, he's fared pretty well. But all in all, I really can't back this Royals team right now, and I really have no interest in backing the Tigers, at not a dog price. I'm interested in backing the Tigers as a dog. And -110, I know they're going again. They definitely have the better starter in here. But I just don't like backing the Tigers at this line. So I am off this game, but it could be a nice spot for Daniel Lynch to get his first career MLB win, versus a low Tigers offense. Just first time seeing him, mixes up his stuff, go 4 innings, maybe not get an official win, only going 4. But basically, I'm off this game. Next game, Cardinals Brewers. Deer Slayer Ski in the house. Appreciate you. Bobby M asking for a 3-game sweep for the Jays. Yes, sir. Amy Angus, I like it. The Jays can do it. Yep, let's hope so. All right, St. Louis Cardinals, Milwaukee Brewers. Cardinals +110. Under over set at 6.5. The ace is going for both teams here. Jack Flaherty for the Cardinals. Corbin Burns for the Brewers. Jack Flaherty has won his last 6 starts after a disaster of an open day. But he passed that start. He pitched really well. He's lowered his ERA to 2.83. He's only allowed more than 1 earned run twice. And he has really good numbers versus Brewers team. The only guy that really has some success versus him is Lorenzo Cain. Corbin Burns starting for the Brewers. He is back after an IL stint, but it was for COVID. So nothing I'm really worried about. But he did get roughed up in his last start versus the Marlins, which was quite interesting. Prior to that, he only allowed 1 run in 24 total innings. He has at least 9 strikeouts in every single start this year. Me, I prefer to not include the bullpens in my bets. As for the Brewers pen, they're definitely the better of the 2, but I do kind of lean Cardinals here. I think overall they have the better offense right now without Christian Yelich. And I just, I think Corbin Burns might be ready for take a little step back here. He had some extra time off because of the COVID IL list. And, he did get hit up his last time. I prefer 6.5 is a very low total for a 9-inning game. But, the only lean there would be the under. But I'm not going to make an official play on here, but the lean would be to the Cardinals. Next game we got is the Twins White Sox. Chicago White Sox -130, over under set at 7.5. So we got White Sox going for the sweep here. They scored 22 runs in 2 games so far, and I think they score here again versus the vet in Michael Pineda. Big Mike has pitched pretty good this year, but his strength of schedule has been subpar for sure. He pitched against the Rangers, Royals, Pirates, Mariners, and Brewers. I mean, definitely not the offensive juggernauts, that's for sure. His one lone offensive good team was the Red Sox, and he pitched really good in that start. But I definitely expect regression coming from him, and I expect it to come soon, if not tomorrow. So the White Sox definitely have good numbers versus Pineda as well. Good old Lance Lynn going for the White Sox. Man, this guy, what can you say about him? The old vet, an inning eater. He's pitched pretty good versus Twins team. In 5 starts this year, he's only gave up runs versus the Royals. So he's pitched 5 starts, 2 against the Royals, and that's the only team he's gave up runs. Full game wise, I guess I prefer the White Sox bullpen out of the 2. -130 is not a crazy line either here. The Sox might get a sweep, so the lean definitely is White Sox. I may pull the trigger on this one, haven't made it official, and more than likely, if I do bet this one, it will be a full game White Sox. Next game, we got San Francisco Giants, Pittsburgh Pirates. Giants -160 here. Over under 7.5. The Giants did have an off day today. They did travel to Pittsburgh. DeSclafani going for the Giants. He's been pretty good this year, but I've watched him a good amount of his starts. He is from the local area to me, so I've watched a lot of him actually. And especially this year, he's worked out of quite a lot of jams. He's worked his way out of jams, and I kind of see a little regression coming his way. Ironically enough, this Pirates offense has good numbers versus him as well. Will Crowe going for the Pirates. He's been good this year, but his advanced numbers are the worst of all starting pitchers on this slate. And in 2020, he sucked. 11.88 ERA. He walked as many batters as he struck out last year. So I definitely think regression is going to come for him as well. But at -160, I have no interest in the Giants here. I kind of do lean under first 5, but either or. If I had to choose a side, it would be the under first 5 and Pirates on this game. Next one, we got Oakland Athletics, Boston Red Sox. Both teams another evenly lined game, -110, -105 in places. Over under set at 9. Sean Manaea, Garrett Richards. Red Sox do hit lefties, and Manaea is not someone I'm really afraid of. He has pitched good so far this year, but he's pitched versus a weak bunch of teams so far. Pitched against Tampa Bay twice, who their offenses doesn't really scare me at all. Detroit, Minnesota, and Baltimore. So, regression probably come from him as well. And he doesn't do it for me. I'm not really sold on Sean Manaea. Garrett Richards going for the Red Sox, but he stinks. He's not very good either. His advanced numbers are showing, he's better than the surface numbers, but all in all, he's not very good. If you put together all his numbers, like his career numbers, his ERA is in the high 4s. So I definitely expect runs in this game. And I probably just lean full game over. Bullpens are, middle of the pack, both bullpens. Boston's bullpen was bad last year, but has, pitched really well this year. Do I expect regression? Maybe not. This bullpen may have, turned the trigger here, and they might be pretty good this year. So I'm not going to easily write off their early start from Boston yet, but I guess maybe the first 5 over would be the lean there. I don't have an official play, but that's probably the lean. Next game, Reds versus Rockies. It is Luis Castillo going for the Reds. Reds -130. They are traveling in here, the Reds, to play the Rockies, who played a doubleheader today versus the Pirates. So both teams may be a little tired, but we are in Coors Field here. And Castillo, he's had a lot of problem with his changeup. Basically, that's been his main problem. They said he's adjusting his game plan to throw his changeup less often. And basically, his changeup was his out pitch. Whenever he got in jams, he would use his changeup. And if you don't have an out pitch, might be some problems here. But Chichi Gonzalez is going for Colorado. He has home road splits, obviously, pitching in Coors Field. It is what it is. But it's definitely not a guy like the back. And Cincinnati's bats, they went silent. Basically, they went silent the 2 end games, except for today they scored a couple runs. I think the guy hit a grand slam in the 9th inning. But the middle game, they scored 1 run. First game, they scored 9. Today, they probably scored about 5. So they sandwiched in the middle game, no runs. But I know they're traveling in, whatnot, Colorado, atmosphere, whatnot. But I definitely expect them to score runs off Chichi Gonzalez. What kind of Luis Castillo we're going to get, that's really up in question. But The Rockies don't scare me, but at home they can put up runs, and I do expect them to get some off Luis Castillo, especially if he can't throw the changeup. So full game, over 10.5. I haven't pulled the trigger on that one either. But, if that gets bet down to 10, I'm going to bet it. I'm going to watch the line movement on that one overnight, and I may make that one an official play. That's a hard lean over there. I may make that an official play, but I'll let the Run Pure Bet subscribers know. If I do, I'll tag you in the Discord, and I'll put it up on the official sheet. Next game we got is Jameson Taillon and the Yankees versus Rich Hill. I'm seeing Yankees minus 130, or Taillon, however you say it. He's pitched pretty well this year. Especially the last couple starts. He pitched against Detroit and Washington and Cleveland, and he pitched pretty good those 3-4 starts. He's pitched in 28 and 2/3 innings, 5 ERA so far this year, but I'm pretty, he hasn't got any help from the defense, and he has give up a lot of homers. He's given up 7 home runs in 6 starts, so almost over a home run per start. Obviously, pitching in Yankee Stadium, there's no favorites. It's a small stadium. If you leave one hanger up, easily can get a hit over the fence. Tampa Bay's offense has been non-existent so far in this series, and I thought coming into the year the problem would be their pitching, but their pitching has been somewhat decent. It really has been their hitting has been the problem. And I don't think they do any favors here. I think the Yankees, at the end of the day, I think the Yankees will score more runs than them. Rich Hill going for Tampa Bay. The old Rich Hill, what is he, 40 years old at this time? His advanced stuff, I guess, his advanced stuff show, like, all these numbers. He's had a 3 ERA for the longest time. This guy has pitched. He has a career 3.83 ERA. And this year, he's getting blown up this year so far. Last 2 starts, so he pitched against Houston, only 3 innings on May 2nd. And then he started against Oakland 5 days later on May 7th. 6 innings, 2 hit ball, and no earned run. So he's pitched good the last 2 starts, but before that, he's given up 4 runs in 5 straight starts. He only pitched past the 4th inning 1 time there. He did pitch against the Yankees, and that was the 1 time he got past the 4th. Pitched 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 4 hits, and 7 strikeouts versus the Yankees. So the second time the Yankees seen him, a guy that doesn't have an overpowering fastball, I expect the Yankees to score. DJ LeMahieu has good numbers versus him, but he's basically the only one that has a lot of success, or a lot of even at-bats versus him. But I definitely think the Yankees score. Maybe, maybe the play here, maybe I talk myself into it, the play here is the over. And that number is at 8 here. The over 8 may be the play, because I definitely expect Taillon, if Tampa Bay can't get their bats right against Taillon, there's clearly an underlying issue here. And then Rich Hill is definitely going to get hit. I expect Rich Hill to give up at least 3-4 runs for sure. So, and then the Tampa Bay turn it over to their bullpen, which pitched a lot the first 2 games of the series. So I definitely, Yankees team total over is not a bad look. If we can get that a 4.5, that's going to be an official play. Let me just confirm that I can get that number. And, I'm going to pull the trigger there, because the bullpen is taxed there for sure. Team total 4.5 plus 108. All right, so I'm going to wait there as well. I expect that number to possibly go down to 4. And I only looked at one book. I will search around and possibly look at another book. But a hard lean there definitely is the over there, and Yankees team total over 4.5. Shout out the chat again. P. Perez, Rays getting swept. Yankees money line minus 127. Like it, buddy. Reds and Braves team total over. All right, Perez. Bobby M. Tigers have been hot, going for the sweep. Seems like a lot of sweep games tomorrow. Tigers, Red Sox, Royals, Braves, Blue Jays, Tampa Bay, and Yankees. Yep. Bobby M. Castillo had problems in cold weather. Only supposed to be 61 instead of 48 when he's been pitching, so it should be good to go. 61 instead of 48. That's 10-degree difference. Nothing crazy. And the altitude over there, the altitude is going to cause runs. So I'm not sold on that. A-Can, Joey Bases, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you for hanging out. That's for sure. All right, next game we got is Texas versus Houston. Mike Folkelnavich, Christian Javier. So this should be a fun one. Folty has been hit or miss, basically. He's gave up 4 runs, and he's give up 1 run. Then he's give up 5 runs, and he's give up 3 runs. Then he's give up 1 run, 4 runs. So, this guy's all over the place. ERA is 4.5, 4.5, actually. And he has been, walking. I mean, I guess he's limited his walks since he started the season walking a lot of people, but he has limited it since. But again, another guy susceptible to the home run ball. He's given up 11 home runs this year in 6 starts, 7 starts, I think. His record 1-3. Obviously, record doesn't really mean much, but against this Houston team, I think he's going to give up some runs in a small batter's ballpark. I definitely expect runs. Christian Javier has been really good. I know we were on him his last start, and it didn't work out. He definitely got hit around his last start, his worst start of the year versus the Toronto Blue Jays. 5 innings. 5 earned runs. He gave up 2 homers in that game. Even the start before that, he pitched versus Tampa, 5 innings, 3 earned. But before that, he hadn't given up a run, except for his opening day start. He had 3 scoreless starts, 5 innings, 7 innings, no earned runs in that span. He had 22 strikeouts, I want to say, in that span as well. He's got 38 on the year. ERA's at 2.90 even after getting hit hard his last start. So I definitely expect Javier to have a nice bounce back here versus the Rangers team, who doesn't really scare me. But they should be able to get some runs, but I would expect under their team total, they probably get about 2 runs. This is probably like a 6-2 game, 7-2 game, 5-2 game, Houston. So my lean is definitely Houston. I'm seeing Javier at minus 200 for Christian Javier. I have no interest in backing Christian Javier at minus 200. So ultimately, I'm off that game as of right now. Next, we got Miami Marlins versus Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm pretty sure the Marlins won today. Diamondbacks won the game before. We got Trevor Rogers, the lefty, versus Merrill Kelly here. Trevor Rogers has been really good, but Arizona does hit lefties pretty good. Trevor Rogers, 38 innings thus far, 1.89 ERA. He's got 50 strikeouts in 38 innings. Whoo! He's definitely the lowest strikeouts he had thus far is 6. He's pitched 5 innings in every start except for his first start of the year. He only went 4, still struck out 6. And he's pitched really well. He's limited his walks, which was, kind of a concern coming into this year. And he's pitched really good. And I don't think any of these Diamondbacks have really seen him. So that definitely an advantage to him as well. If he can keep the ball in the zone, he should be able to limit this team. And Merrill Kelly, since coming over to KBO, since coming over from the KBO, he has struggled a little bit. But I do see some positive regression coming his way. I personally do. He pitched decent last time out versus the Mets, only gave up 3 hits. Time before that, he pitched, he only gave up 2 runs, but he did get hit hard versus Colorado. But then before that, he pitched against San Diego in 6 innings, 1 earned run. So he has slowly got better. I know last time out, he walked 5 people. Obviously, if you're walking people, it's a recipe for disaster. I don't care what team you're playing. If you're walking people at that high of a clip, you are not, you're not going to succeed in the Major League Baseball. So if he limits the walks, which I do think he'll limit the walks tomorrow, and the Marlins team is like, their offense is one of the worst in baseball. I'm sorry. If they don't hit, they are so home run dependent, it's not even funny. And Rojas is only one that's really has any at-bats versus Mel Kelly. So the lean here, again, is going to be under 8. And that's I probably will make that official as well. But under 8 will be a best bet of mine. Under 8, Miami, Arizona. So next game we got is Cleveland, Seattle. Zach Plesac versus Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert, the rookie, is getting called up. That's very exciting stuff. Zach Plesac for Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland is surprisingly 20-14 this year. Plesac has a 3.83 ERA thus far, 31 strikeouts, and only 7 walks across 40 innings in the majors this year. And his ERA has been good for the last 3 years. The last 2 starts versus Cincinnati and Chicago, he has pitched almost 14 innings and gave up 0 earned runs, 6 total hits. and he has 13 strikeouts in that span. This year, he's pitched 40 innings, and he has 31 strikeouts, so a little less than a strikeout per inning. Only 17 hits, which is really – or 17 runs, which is really impressive. And the hits are still low, too. He has 28 hits total. So another guy, who's pitched rather well, but I don't know, something about Plesac. He's obviously has a hard fastball, sometimes even hits 100 on that fastball. And Seattle, not a team that really impressed me. I'm not seeing a line on this game, probably because they're still trying to cap Logan Gilbert and what he brings to the table here. But this will be his first major league start. He should have, some flurries in his body. He should be a little nervous, that's for sure. It's his first start in the major leagues. But, man, this guy is big. 6'6", 225. His fastball is one of the best in the minors. So, it hits the high 90s, mid-90s, 97-ish. And then he does have really good command. But I don't know what I'm going to expect from him game one. So I'm just going to take a wait-and-see approach. He never pitched in AAA. He's coming right up from AA. So I don't have an official play there. But I'm interested to watch him, that's for sure. And I do like it. But, wow, minus 200. Yeah, that's crazy. So my official plays for tomorrow, Thursday, May 13th, right? Yep, Thursday, May 13th. Official play will be Toronto Blue Jays money line, plus 130. I'm also going to take the under 8 in the Miami Marlins versus Arizona Diamondback, and that's at minus 105. And then I'm also looking to take the Yankees team total over or the over 8 in that game. I haven't made that one official, so I have two best bets. Those are my two best bets as of right now. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If anybody has any questions, throw them in the chat now. Otherwise, I will be back. Today is Thursday. I'll be back Friday. I have a UFC fighter coming on. It should be about 1 p.m. Eastern time. So, or 12. It might be before that. Right after Spread goes on for his NBA rundown on Friday, I will be on with Jason Witt, UFC fighter Jason Witt, who just announced the Vanilla Gorilla, I want to say his nickname is. He just announced he has a fight coming up too, so we'll talk about that. Pretty exciting. Excuse me. And then Sunday I'll be back with JJ and Holden if Holden wants to show up, and we'll be going through the entire MLB slate. So that's pretty exciting. But make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at Joey Work, follow Run Pure Bets on Twitter. And if you're not subscribed, this is a great time to sign up. runpurebets.com. Use bets25 off. You have access to us in the Discord. We have an official play sheet that's fully tracked and transparent every day. There's plenty of content behind the paywall with articles. Snyder has hit 8 straight PGA winners. Like, you can't even make that up. 8 straight PGA winners. He's going for 9 straight, and the article's on the website right now. So make sure to sign up now. Go to check the article out. Check out who he's got winning the tournament, and get in because the tournament starts tomorrow morning. But that's all I got for you. I appreciate you guys for checking out. Pete Perez, thanks a lot. Joey, Ricky Chan, appreciate you guys. Gregory Russo, my guy, Greg. Comment in this. Put a after I wrap up the video, just comment on the video. I really appreciate you guys. Comment on the video and pick your best bet. Like JJ says, the comment section's warm. No harm here. We're not going to hurt you. If you get a pick wrong, it's all good. I got 3 in a row wrong. The world's not coming to an end. My record is still, I want to say 19-8-1. I have it down here. 19-8-1. Yeah, I was right. So I lost 3 in a row, 19-8-1. Can't complain about that. It is a marathon, not a sprint in this MLB season. I know, long season, a lot of games. So take it slow and steady. Wins the race 1 unit at a time. Has been profitable for me over the last 7 years. So I'm going to stick with the plan. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks again. Hit the like button and comment for me. Give me a little comment. Tell me your best bet for tomorrow. All right? I'll see you guys on Friday with my UFC fighter, and then back on Sunday with the boys. Peace and love. Joey.